I've come to meet gym owner Fady.
That's about 15 kilos ago. Yeah. So it's almost another person.
So were you competing at that point?
I did it at that point. I hadn't competed, and that was probably part of my muscle dysmorphia because actually in my mind I never thought I was good enough.
You didn't think that you were big enough to enter?
No, I didn't. I actually didn't. I don't think I was ever good enough.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that I've seen the photos of you and I've seen how you looked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when you look at them now, I mean, you look huge, right?
It still gets me till now. I'm like, geez, you know, that was me.
But you didn't think that you were big then?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. It blows me away that I even took it that far.
Yeah. How far did you take it?
Oh, that's a broad question. I took it too far. And what started with just a little bit of experimentation ends up being a whole sort of chemistry mix inside that you're taking. And it grew from there.
At the height of it all, when you were taking the steroids and you were working out a lot, how was your self-esteem?
Not so good because I didn't think I was, good enough. And if I was going to be judged on how I looked or my body, then I had to be perfect. Everything had to be perfect.
Yeah, and you said that's why you didn't compete.
I didn't. I just, I'd put in all the hard work. I'd do everything, look in the mirror and go, no, it's not good enough. It's not good enough.
No matter how big he got, Fady never felt perfect. And 3 years ago, his physical and mental health got so bad that he made the decision to quit steroids. How hard was it to get to the point where you could look in the mirror and feel happy with how you looked?
For me, that was very hard. That took a while. And that was one of the biggest steps forward for me, was to be able to look in the mirror and go, yeah, I look great, I feel good, and I don't have all these side effects following me around or negative feelings or any kind of anxiety like that. So that was a big thing for me. That was a massive accomplishment, to just be able to look in the mirror, be happy, to be happy with how I look.
In a way, Fady is lucky. By taking his health to the edge, he realised he had a problem to get past. But I've discovered that many people with muscle dysmorphia don't think they need help, so they don't seek treatment. Dysmorphia is a condition in which someone really believes there's something seriously wrong with their appearance when there's not. And I wonder, does having official recognition of muscle dysmorphia mean that men's body image is changing? Dr. Scott Griffiths has spent his career trying to make sense of this.
It's akin to a reverse form of anorexia. So instead of having someone who's very, very thin look in a mirror and say to you, oh, I'm grotesquely obese, you have guys who are objectively very muscular, and they do tend to be guys, who will look in the mirror and tell you that they're scrawny, that they're puny, they're weak, or that they're grotesquely obese, but still that how their body actually looks is nothing like how they see it.
So how common is it for guys to have this kind of dysmorphia about the way that they look and the size of their muscles?
We don't know yet, but it's clear that it's affecting an increasing number because of what we're seeing with rising steroid rates. That rise in use is being driven by predominantly boys and men who aren't happy with their appearance and want to use steroids to bulk up.
So do you have any idea what's causing this rise in muscle dysmorphia?
We have a few ideas. The media environment is definitely changing. Research is clear now that if you look at portrayals of men in the media, say magazines, on TV, video games, they're getting more and more muscular and lower in body fat. They look less and less like what the average boy or man looks like. This is what I'm talking about. This is Luke Skywalker from the original release of the Star Wars film. And the figurine looks almost exactly like Mark Hamill. There's no discernible levels of muscle mass. He's not weirdly proportioned. He looks pretty similar to the character that he portrayed. Now, this is from the 1990s re-release
Wow,
of the
he
trilogy.
has gotten bigger.
Yeah, this character has the classic bodybuilder physique and pose.
Yeah.
And he does not look like how Mark Hamill looked in those films.
God, he's huge, isn't he? Look at those biceps.
Yeah, and it's not the case that you look at this figurine and then you develop muscle dysmorphia.
Yeah.
Star Wars is not responsible for the existence of this disorder. But in the same way that Barbie dolls over generations encouraged women and girls to think that they have to be massively thin in order to have worth, then boys will think similar. They will come to think that they have to be, disproportionately muscular in order to have worth. And that's where disorders like muscle dysmorphia can develop. Guys with muscle dysmorphia often don't see their bodies the way other people see them.
When I dug deeper into muscle dysmorphia, I discovered that some of the men who develop it had also been bullied when they were kids.